Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching Loki. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 4 of season 2 of Loki. The last episode was kind of nuts. In the sense that, I loved it because it took place in an old-timey era, in 1800s Chicago, and I always love their set design and their costume design, and I just think it's always beautiful. This is such a stunning show. But I also really liked it because Miss Minutes, she was thirsty, and she was wanting it, and she was wanting it bad. I feel like I was thrown off by it just a little bit because I was like, yes, she might have had a relationship with He Who Remains. But I was like, man, she was really quick to tell Victor Timely that she loved him. And I don't know if that's a manipulation on her part or if she just sees him as He Who Remains. I'm not sure, but that seemed like a real quick jump from hi, nice to meet you. I love you. And also her wanting a body, which, I feel like if you've never had one, you'd probably want to experience one. Because I think, I love having my body. I love being in it, and I love living. But I don't know what her thing is, of wanting a body. Is it to be with He Who Remains, with Victor Timely physically? Is it to experience things, like a human would? I'm really curious as to what that's about. Especially because it was very, very much expressly said a few times that He Who Remains and or Victor Timely, that they don't want to do partnerships, that they don't do things together, they don't do team ups. They're very, at the top, and then, Renslayer and Miss Minutes are below them. And it might be they're below them, but they don't do partnerships. They don't work together. You either work for him or your mind's wiped and he sends you back to the TVA, which I think might have happened to Renslayer at some point. Because we had the tape where they were talking and he was kind of talking about them having a partnership. And again, I don't know if that was a manipulation with He Who Remains to get Renslayer to do what he wanted her to do. But the fact that we know that he doesn't do partnerships, he doesn't do togetherness. One, if I'm Miss Minutes, I would really worry about asking for a body so they can be together. But two, I don't know how you would ever trust him if he's repeatedly said that. Now, the partnership that we are seeming to get now is Renslayer and Miss Minutes, because Miss Minutes, she doesn't take rejection well. And she knows some secrets and she knows some things. And I'm looking forward to this episode because I want to know what she knows about Renslayer. I want to know what that secret is, because depending on, I've heard every kind of rumor that Renslayer is a Kang variant, that Renslayer was one of the statues in the hall at the end of time. So I'm curious as to what the secret is. I personally think it's that they had a partnership, that he used her and then wiped her mind and put her in charge of the TVA, kept her close and kept her important. And made sure that, he didn't just give her a bottom level job to do, that he kept her kind of close to his hip a little. So I think that's probably what that is, but I don't know. It's really funny that the show is called Loki, and what I've been talking about is Victor Timely, Miss Minutes, and Renslayer, which are not anything to do with Loki, except Renslayer, pruning Sylvie from her own timeline, taking Sylvie from her timeline, and then clearing that timeline to forget about her. And I would like to know why. I know it's because she was a good Loki, but I want to know why that wasn't an okay thing to have. Why is it okay to not have a good Loki? Why do they always have to be mischievous and get into trouble? So I don't know if we'll ever get that answer, but I do love that Sylvie is just I'm going to send you to the end of time and just yeets her. I'm very Team Sylvie when it comes to that. She took away her childhood. Now, again, Renslayer was working for the TVA, but she's also working for He Who Remains. And He Who Remains wanted that to happen because then Renslayer could go back and find Victor Timely and blah, blah, blah. So it's all part of what's supposed to happen. I just don't know why. And of course, Victor Timely ends up going to the TVA, which is extremely exciting because he gets to meet the man who wrote the book, Ouroboros. And a lot of people were saying that he could be a king variant, or he's like the original timekeeper, or the original, not just the creator of the TVA, but like that he's like it. He's the one that knows all. And I love OB, and I don't want to I don't want to learn anything that changes my opinion of him as a negative, because I just think that he's absolutely wonderful, and I want him to remain that way. He who remains that way. It didn't feel good when I said it either. But I would love to see Victor Timely and OB talk to each other. It's their names. It's like with OB and Mobius and Victor Timely, all of their names, and then you just got like Loki and Sylvie. But I'm curious to see what happens with the temporal loom, because they will have He Who Remains aura, which, again, if Victor Timely was a plant by He Who Remains, then this is all supposed to happen. And I don't know, moving forward, I get so confused over the timelines, the sacred timelines, branch timelines, what's from here, what's from there, why it matters, what this matters, all that. And I still love it anyways. One, because I think the acting in this show is fantastic. I think that the story is fantastic. I think the set design is fantastic. Even the sound designs are fantastic. I think everything about this show is just wonderful. And like sometimes I just don't get it. And I love that about that. Like, I'm normally somebody who's like picking things immediately before they happen, or like I'm already guessing storylines, and I'm not doing that with this show. I love that for me. So I'm really eager to see what OB and Victor Timely do with the temporal loom, because now that there's knots and it's branching and there's a lot of stuff going on, but everyone's jumping everywhere, and it seems like there's this thing that's happening that's like at any minute they're all gonna die, according to OB. But like it just seems like it's taking its sweet time getting to that time, which is funny because it seems like it should be a rush, but it's really getting slower and slower and slower, and just like really feeding you this story, and it's in no rush to get it to you. And I like that, but it gives me anxiety because I keep thinking about that temporal loom and that everyone's gonna die. So with that being said, I will not delay any further, because I hate when people do that. I hate when shows do that. Sometimes I like it in this one. But anyway, guys, let's get into it. Stop wasting time.
I know a real big secret. It's gonna make you real angry.
I want to know what it is. Not that I want Renslayer angry, but I would like to know what the secret is. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Going back to the end of time, that is breaking up a lot. Hey, girl.
He wasn't always alone. There's something you have to see.
So it's almost ready.
Mm-hmm.
For all time.
Always.
Uh-oh.
See you soon.
Hey, boss. Fancy a game of chess?
Uh-oh.
Not today. Erase her memories.
Are you sure?
Erase all their memories.
If you say so.
Oh, boy. I want Ravonna rage.
And while he sat on his throne, I continued to do all the work to keep him there?
Yup.
Well, something like that.
So, what are you proposing?
That we don't need him. Maybe we never did.
Except for the temporal loom that needs his aura, but I think they might be fixing that this episode, so yikes. I've heard people say, too, that they think Miss Minutes is the actual bad guy of the show. I dig it. I dig her as a villain. Don't turn around, you'll see your face on the wall. Oh boy. He's just walking around? Nobody came with him?
What do you want with me?
They need your aura.
Come with us, and we'll show you.
That didn't sound as reassuring as you hoped it would.
Listen, Professor, I can only imagine what Renslayer and Miss Minutes have been saying about us, but it's not true. Unless I said something good.
The more the merrier. You all want me.
And she wants you dead.
Rhoda wants me. The effervescent clock lady monster thing wants me. I should have some say.
Sure.
I don't disagree.
But can you do it later?
Is that my loom?
Yes. That's your loom.
Want to go see it?
And you're the only one who can help us fix it.
La-di-da.
Jonathan Majors is really good.
She's a general of the TVA, and she wants to protect it at all costs. That was her mission. And it can be again, if you can convince her that this new version is worth protecting too.
Very true. She's very loyal.
I don't think it'll change anything.
Don't be so sure of that. Your words changed me.
Does she have a name besides Hunter B13 or B15? B15?
So I built all of this. Or I did. Well, or I will, and I did.
Almost you, but not you.
He's me at the beginning of this in my commentary going, who, what, when, where? I don't know.
This is Casey, an OB.
Ooh.
O-B?
Yeah, celebrity OB.
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros.
I learned everything I know from a brilliant 19th century inventor named Victor Timely. If he had the resources, he would have been bigger than Einstein.
What a loop.
So if your work is based on his work and his work is based on your work,
Exactly which came first.
It's like a snake eating its own tail.
Ouroboros.
The way you explain the electric bypass system.
Bypass.
Poetry, just poetry.
That's so
Sorry
cute.
to break up this bromance, but can we fix now and sign later?
No, just let them sign their
Bobby,
books.
how's it going?
We have a good plan.
Okay.
Pretty good plan. We have a plan. Casey?
That they don't think is going to work, though, right? That's what they were
Here's a
talking
model I
about?
mocked up of the loom. To give it a shoddy and slapdash work, it's not to scale.
Shoddy?
I only got one coat of paint on there. I haven't been able to pop out figures to represent all of us.
Of him.
Where it will scale the loom's capacity to manage the backlog of branches that was created when someone killed He Who Remains.
She's very proud of it.
We need to make the rings bigger so more branches can fit through. There's much more temporal radiation out here than there was when you went out there, Mobius.
Oh boy.
More.
Yes.
More skin melting.
Okay, well, I mean, Loki's really gonna have to hook.
Integrating them would take a long time.
Yeah, long time.
Mr. Ouroboros, if anyone can, it's you and me.
Aww. I think it's great, Sylvie. Get that look off your face. Might be trouble, but I still like it.
You found out you're a variant, and you haven't even looked, have you?
Yeah.
Timelines are just lines on a monitor. Doesn't matter if a few disappear, because you've never bothered to look if one of them was yours.
Yeah.
Who cares if a few just disappear? Enjoy your pie.
It's gonna feel like you have something to lose. Come on, Mobius, go look.
And if we just try to figure this out, we can get out of this room and we can get back to our lives. I believe it was Galileo or Winston Churchill.
Or.
What if they don't go for it?
Go and help Mobius keep an eye on Timely.
I don't know how they're gonna build more. I don't know what the thing was that Victor Timely had and like what that's gonna do.
I took a wrong turn. Didn't plan on coming to Pie Land. Just so we're clear, no, I didn't. I'm here, aren't I? Again!
You're only here because you couldn't kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't kill him. Timely just looked so scared. He who remains wasn't scared. Or maybe he was and I just didn't notice.
Some years ago, my brother was banished from Asgard. And when he came back, he was different.
Changed
somehow.
Oh, there we go.
I thought it was weakness.
You're putting a lot of faith in those three back there.
Yeah. It's really the only answer.
Annihilating is easy. Raising things to the ground is easy.
Yep.
Trying to fix what's broken is hard. Hope is hard.
I love this version of Loki. I really do.
Sounds like whatever we do, we're playing God.
Yep.
We are gods.
Valid point. God, I still can't get over the set design and the direction, everything. It's beautiful.
B-15 has integrity. I don't need to agree with her to know that.
Yeah, well, I don't trust B-15, so I...
Oh boy. Here we go.
And you. This is really disappointing, I must say.
I know, I'm working on myself.
The temporal loom is imploding. Anyone who joins me right here will have a life on the timeline if they want it.
Well, that is a good way to convince people. Good job, Renslayer. Got Brad. He's signing up right now. Uh-oh. Please don't crush somebody in a box. I don't want to watch somebody get crushed in a box.
Bradley, look at me. Life in the timeline was that good, huh?
Oh, God. Oh, all of them getting pressed together.
Knowing that all of us here would rather die than follow you out that door.
Oh my God, look at Miss Minutes. How excited she is. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it looks like, but I want to know, but I don't want to know. What a way to go. Oh, I'm glad they didn't like pan over. I don't think they would on Disney Plus, but still. Whew.
What is that?
A cocoa machine.
What?
Why
Did
do
you say hot cocoa
machine?
Machine?
Yeah.
You have a machine for that.
For a lot of things.
Yeah, you're interested in this machine.
Weird. This one's not connecting either.
What about Sylvie's?
Machine. Could I take a look?
I can take him. Can you? Okay, Professor, he'll take you.
Oh God, are we gonna see it? You know what? I don't need to see it. She's a fantastic actress. I realize how bad it is.
Access denied.
Miss Minutes! Oh God, I can hear drips and then that drip. Fantastic. I like how we have the old-timey music playing. Oh! Brad! Oh God, Brad got Loki that one time?
I'm sorry. Where's the device?
He better, I'm like, he better not hurt Victor Timely. I don't.
I mean, yours wasn't working either.
It's Miss Minutes.
Well, that reminds me of what's his face from Jurassic Park. Dennis Nedry? Is that who that was? Oh, she mad.
Thank God.
you're both okay. And if you don't like what I have to tell you,
Then X5 here is going to find a very thorough and incredibly painful way to kill you.
it's a very small box.
Oh boy. Not so pretty anymore. Incredibly scary.
Oh, come on.
Okay, there's no telephone by that elevator. I keep waiting for that moment where she's in the elevator and he's outside of it.
Loki?
Sylvie? You okay?
Yeah, I just hate that clock.
Miss Minutes is scary. She's got so much power.
Still tight.
Oh, yeah. A different Loki.
Pretty tech savvy.
There you go. Screw you, Miss Minutes. He did prune himself. That's what I thought after that episode, but I was like, no, like maybe it's OB, maybe it's somebody else, and then I was just thinking it was Brad. Oh, it was him.
There you are.
Oh, that looks painful. Had to happen.
I promise you this will make sense.
Yeah, answer the phone. What is up with the phone ringing? To pick up the phone, say hello. It's probably Miss Minutes, Renslayer.
Hello?
About time. What's taking you guys so long?
How did he know they were right there?
I could take her offline if I reboot the system.
Yes.
Reboot the system? What are we gonna lose?
The security protocols will go down. The dampeners that prevent people from using magic at the TVA. We would have to turn that off.
Sounds good to me.
Turn it off!
Yeah! Full send Loki, full send Sylvie. I love it.
That's not another power surge. Let me investigate.
Uh-oh.
Someone's trying to reboot the system. I can't access it. I'm being locked out.
Well, marking this just isn't necessary.
I need to tell you.
Tell you what.
Tell you.
Oh.
You'll never be him.
Whoa. That is dark. I loved it. Is it B-15? I'm gonna see B-15 just clock him real hard. This is really cool.
What do you say, X5? Fancy a rematch?
Oh boy.
X5? What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on?
Let's go.
Oh! Well, didn't expect that. Which way, wizard?
Just put your head in the scanner.
Is that safe?
Yeah, that's
I
what
haven't
we...
tested. Theoretically,
It's all right. You'll be fine.
Just stick your head in there.
Welcome, he who remains.
Ooh, it worked.
It worked.
What a nice little welcome message. Oh yeah, take a look at that, Timely.
Wait. It should be me.
No, you don't
Why?
have to do this.
Something wrong could happen, and I know how the throughput multiplier works.
And you know what? If he's volunteering, let him go.
Okay.
3 actors right there are just really amazing. What a trio standing there. Definitely time to be brave.
Ready?
Come on, let's go, let's
I
go.
really, really, really like Victor. I really want him to be good and on our side and make it out of this. Ready to hoof it?
It's over.
He just jumped, right?
The temporal radiation is just too high.
What did we do wrong?
I don't know.
He time slipped, right? That's what it like ultimately like looked like was. Oh, I have to wait till next week, don't I? Son of a bitch. I don't even know what to do with that ending. That's episode 4. And the temporal loom is gone? The TVA is gone? I'm very flummoxed right now. Not that I have any power to make somebody all of a sudden die, but I was like, I really like Victor. I want him to be okay. Squiggles. Oh my god. Okay. I have to get a grip on myself here. Okay, so the radiation was too much. They were way too late getting there and trying to get Victor's device out there. But what I thought was interesting, the kind of the thing that like is just kind of rolling around in my head is what came first, the chicken or the egg? What came first, Victor Timely or Ouroboros? Because he's been around for 400 years, and Victor Timely has not been. And he's like a snake chasing his tail, which is an Ouroboros. Or Ouroboros. There's a lot of R's in that. Wow. I didn't expect them, one, to kill off Victor Timely if he is dead, because it seems like that was like a major time slip that happened. But also, He Who Remains planned on Victor Timely being there. So I'm wondering, I don't know if he planned on him being there. I don't know what Renslayer and Miss Minutes were going to do with him necessarily. Go to the end of time and like, you know, kick He Who Remains off his throne and throw Victor down there and say, now you're in charge. Like, I don't know what they were going to do with Victor Timely either. Other than try to do what he just did, which was save the TVA and the timelines. Wow. Can I just say, like, there's like a solid moment there where like I broke away from the show and I could just like, I was like, Ke Kwan just shook Jonathan Major's hand in front of Tom Hiddleston. Like, what a trio of actors that were standing there. Just, it's insane the level of talent that they have on this show. And then, like, you think about it, like even somebody like Brad, I forget his name, Rafael Casal, I think, like, fantastic actor. I forget what Renslayer's actress name is, but she's phenomenal too. When she's killing all of the time Minutemen. I knew I'd think of it. When she's like killing all the Minutemen, like I was just like, wow, that's dark. Like, she watched the whole thing. Didn't seem fazed by it whatsoever. And I mean, Miss Minutes is back there drooling, just so bloodthirsty. It was insane. With the dark moment, incredibly dark. A lot of dark moments. Even Miss Minutes, like when they reset everything and she's just like fading and she's coming in and out, and then all of a sudden is like solid and making eye contact and says, "You'll never be him." And then it's just gone. Like, so dark. I love it. I love it. I love when they go there. I love when they have dark moments. And I was just like, oh my God, you can hear the dripping of the bodies through the floor. And just seeing B-15's reaction. Oh, so gross. It's funny because I watched Saw X last week. And I know gross, and I'm sure that was just as gross. Okay, so it seems like Sylvie is at least coming around a little bit. I think like Loki, like really... I get the point that like when she's like, well, what do we do? Just put Victor back in his timeline? And, you know, Loki's like, yeah, we keep him safe. You know, we keep an eye on him. And she's like the TVA, you know, and it's kind of like you have to just put people there and forget about them and don't check in on them and just let free will take control and let them live their lives. And her whole problem with the TVA is the interference. and that it isn't real freedom, and that they try to control things and control timelines. And I don't know what would happen. I mean, I know what would happen. Obviously, it happened at the end of this. If you just kind of like let everything go out of control. But like, I don't know how you... If multiple timelines exist, then why is it a problem to have a branched timeline? You know what I mean? Because then multiple timelines already exist. It's not just the sacred timeline. There are other ones. That's why there are other iterations of Loki, and that's why there are other variants of Sylvie, and so I'm a little confused as to why, like, it getting out of control, why it growing so big wasn't already kind of a forethought. I don't know. But now we have like 2 episodes to wrap this up, but like technically everything's gone. I have no idea where this is going to go, and I love that for us. Can I just say, the set design on every single thing, especially the things that like were sticking with me. Victor Timely walking up the hallway when he first gets to the TVA. That hallway in particular, the way it's lit from the top and the sides, the dark wood, how shiny it is, the ceiling, the floor, all that. Just bravo to the set design. They did just amazing with that, and especially the direction and the camera work that we got going up and down those hallways, even with like Brad, when, you know, he's like inching forward and doesn't realize that Loki's at the end and he has access to his magic, and Sylvie, you know, it enchants him. I don't know if it's an enchantment or just manipulates him, but like a lot of those moments in those hallways and those shots are beautiful. Loki like creeping up on himself to prune himself, which I thought that was who originally pruned him, and then we got Brad pruning what's his face from behind. So then I was like kind of thrown off. I was like, oh my God, what if Brad's just going down the hallway pruning people? I'm really glad that it worked out the way that it did, but it seemed like it was important. So maybe they'll circle back as to why that was so important. And then I don't know how OB knew that they were right there to call that phone. So it's like it already happened. And with OB, he's got this memory where things have happened before. So I don't know if there's, I mean, obviously there's something special about OB, but even more so than we could possibly imagine, which him being the first, I don't want to say he who remains, the first person to, I don't know, control the TVA period, or I'm not sure. Very curious. I was so happy to see them meet each other. I thought that was really interesting how they were like, it was like a loop, because it's just like, oh, I learned everything I know from Victor Timely, and Victor Timely's like, I learned everything I know from you. So it's like, uh-oh, what happens now? That was a curious thing. Like, I don't know how, like I said, Ouroboros has been around for 400 years. So there's a lot of times where I'm just so confused during the show, but it's like really cool. Like, I enjoy being confused. I like that, like, the answer is not obvious. Could never have called Victor Timely getting split, time splinched, whatever it is. And I don't know. He could just be gone. I mean, his skin could have melted. He lost all of his skin. What we were warned about. But it seemed like he was jumping, so that was weird. Or slipping, whatever they call it now. But, you know, Renslayer originally being there with He Who Remains and him having her memory wiped, I think a lot of us saw that coming. But it definitely, the way that it was shown, it seemed like He Who Remains, like, cared. But, because when he, like, kind of says it, he says it very softly, you know, like, wipe her memory, and then he like looks down and he says always. And I don't know if it's like he knew he was giving up on something special, but the fact that she pretty much won the war for him, it kind of explains like how she could be so cold to the people dying in that box. And I don't want to say that it was easy for her, but it definitely seemed easier for her than it did for Loki when he was messing with Brad. And Brad watching it happen, he was scared. Very interesting to see where Renslayer goes from here. I mean, she did get pruned. I don't know if that takes her to the end of time or if she's just gone. I don't think that that's the way Renslayer goes out. But I'm curious because when you're pruned, do you just get like thrown in a new timeline or are you just gone? Because we know what happened to Loki, that they went to the end of time. And we know that Mobius went to the end of time. Sylvie went to the end of time when she pruned herself. So, you know, and I don't know if Renslayer can get back to the throne room area from the pruning stage at the end of time. Hopefully Miss Minutes reboots and like she's able to fix something or do something, but yeah, that I don't know where we go from here. If the loom blew up, then like there's nothing keeping the timelines from continuing to not branch. Maybe that's what we need. Maybe like when I said, I was like, what's the problem with having branch timelines? Like just like build something to make it bigger. I think maybe trying to contain it in the first place is part of the problem. But like, I just worry about all those Kang variants. Because we know they're coming. And it's funny, like, they were like, well, we don't, there's not a way to make the rings bigger. And I was like, if only Scott Lang were here and he could just throw something at it and it would just make it bigger. It's like, and then like, you know, because he's little, he can move really fast too. Like we needed Scott Lang in that moment to get across the bridge, throw the thing, do all that. And, you know, there's always an answer somewhere in the MCU. Yeah, great episode. Probably one of my favorites thus far because it was pretty emotional. Like watching Victor dissipate the way he did and everybody. And I'll tell you, Tom Hiddleston with that close shot on his face and those eyes, it was like getting emotions in me. And I was like, please don't end. Please give us a little bit, even an end credit scene. And that longer pause that they gave us. I'm gonna get one of these. Oh man, it's so good. I love this show. I love these characters. I just like love them all. And I'm very sad about Victor Timely, but again, who knows what really happened to him? So there's me holding out for hope that he just time slipped somewhere and that he's okay. Because I like Victor. I like Victor a lot. Of course, I said that, then we lost him. So that's my luck. But guys, if you want to watch a full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon. But come back here next week for episode 5. Yeah, I almost said 6. There's 2 more. I have no idea where this is going. God, I love this show. It's so good. And the acting performances and like the art that is this show is wonderful. But I still walk away from it confused every week. So also something I like about it. Okay, guys. I'll see ya.